In this video I have another telephone. It's a 70s probably era 891, so it's beige colour, so it's a Wallphone. Still brand new in the box, never opened by the look of it. Only damage it's got is where they stuck the address label onto it. They didn't bother boxing it up at all, but that's not the end of the world. But hopefully this is a mint condition beige telephone. I've never opened one up from the box before. I've seen the boxes, but usually not the right one for the phone anyway. I might have gone the opposite way. I think that's the bottom of the phone, but anyway. Let's see if it's still actually intact. Well, the bag looks a bit like it's been partly open, but I think that's just from the phone pushing on it. Oh, it doesn't want to come out. A tight fit in there, so there's a bit of cardboard. And then it'll just come straight off. Certainly looks new. I've got a rubber band. Oh, that's the wall bracket by the look of it. Did we get the book? Oh, we did get the little booklet thing. That's more just a card. And that's interesting. What is going on here? Oh, is this the one with the... They did make one with some sort of ringer adjustment, I think. But it looks pretty well brand new. Ew. The old bit here, look at the dial's not even working properly. It hasn't been used. You can hear it squeaking in there a bit. Ugh, making a bit of a grating sound. But there it is, 891. So that would be the date of the week. So it's a late 1982 phone. Yeah, weird, it's got that hole in it. Oh, well, let's have a look what else we got here. I did see one for sale recently with a little lever sticking out of that bit. There's our wall bracket. So these old phones that just went in like so. And yeah, there's the screw for it. Being a wall phone, they always had a wall bracket with them. But basically that would mount on your plasterboard wall, or maybe brick wall or whatever, but not like the later ones that had a socket in the back. Much better design. They hooked on the socket, the push button ones. But yeah, brand new bit for it. What have we got on this thing? It's a bit tangled up the cord. Introducing your new Wallphone, Telecom Australia. And yeah, that's how you... When you had it on the wall, it was designed, because of course if you had to walk away and do something, hang on, let me get a pen or whatever, you couldn't just put it back on in the normal position, and there was likely no desk or anything around it to sit it on, no flat surface, so that's how you did that. Rest the handpiece, call, stay connected. Whenever you complete your call, be sure to replace it like that. So still Telecom Australia back then, no Telstra. It's got 81 on the end, so maybe that was related to the year. Let's have a quick look inside. At least it arrived in one piece, that's the main thing I was worried about. Yeah, there's nothing to go with that hole in it, but look at that, brand spanking new. Never seen one like that, no dust in it, nothing. Still got a bit of a crack in the capacitor though, I think. The reefer style, even though they're mini print brand or whatever, but yeah, they're all starting to crack regardless from the age. And this, I reckon it's that little bit there is getting a bit... It's not sounding so bad now. Yeah, it's the bit that runs on. Probably just needs a bit of loosening up. Made a bit of a... Whoa. Yeah, she's not the happiest. And so, may need something lubricating in there. Yeah, that noise is there's something. You can take those bits off and dismantle these things. Not sure I'll bother just yet. Let's see what the coil says. Doesn't say anything. We've got a 0.82 microfarad, PCA 9. Nothing else to confirm the date on it by the look of it. But certainly getting towards the end of the production. We've got 4582 on the whole bell assembly. Was it 4782? No, 4682, so slightly earlier made. They made the bell the week before. Oh, didn't put the cover back on, did I? Let's get something. Oh, 4582. Made the bell and the dial the week before. Not surprising, they would have gone into stock before they assembled the thing. And they got the nice smoky sort of dial to match the smoky bit for the handset. Made them look a little bit nicer than the clear ones. I've got a white one here that's actually got a normal dial in it. Someone's changed it. And yeah, I didn't realise they made them with that hole in them. I did see one recently for sale for basically the price, actually a bit more probably than, or a little bit less than this with postage, but more than what I paid for this brand new one. Forgetting the postage, and I didn't put the lid on quite right. And it had the little piece sticking out there, and I was almost tempted to buy it because you don't see that very often. Maybe it was just the later ones they did it on, but you've got to get these little pins at the top end just right. There we're on. Although that's still not quite sitting there yet, except because I haven't pushed that down. Oh, well, I know what it is. It's the dial, isn't it? Yeah, the dial hasn't gone through the hole properly. Got to get that in right. They're a bit fiddly to put back together. A lot of these you got to watch secondhand for broken bits up here where those clips are. And yeah, often these caps are missing, so at least it's got a brand new one. It's got the paperwork with nothing written on it. And yeah, they're quite a nice colour, these ones. As far as the Wallphones went, there was a plain white one. I think they made either a very dark brown or a black one. The house where I am actually had a blue one in it. Light pale sort of blue colour originally. Quite a while ago now, before that one got taken back to Telecom. And that was, I think, the main colours. I think there was a bright yellow one possibly in the Wallphone as well. There is some info online. And look at this, we've got, looks like the guy, Joe Camilleri. Italian dude by the sound of it. I wonder if he's the guy that actually made the phone or just put the box together. Wasn't expecting that. Don't know what 74021 means. But yeah, maybe they got to stamp their name on or something. Don't know whether that was the guy that, I don't know if they had assembly people or whether these got put together robotically. Probably not then, they're probably hand assembled to some degree. Oh well, I better put these bits back in their plastic bags because we don't want this thing getting knocked about. So I probably will put this on display eventually with some other ones. Not very often you see these ones in nice condition. The beige ones, most of these are all sun faded and terribly scratched up. And people are asking nearly as much as what you can sometimes get a good one like this for. So the price of this was right. So that's what a new one looks like. That's what they used to come in a box like that. And your Telecom guy will come out and install it. No one else could install these because they were never for sale. This is still technically the property of Telecom Australia. I think quite a few of them came with this dark base. I think there is a brown. I don't think they made a black. I think it was just a brown one to match the base colour. Just a brown top. The white one comes with that. So I get a feeling the blue may have been all blue. Hard to recall now. I think there's around 5 colours of these. So the We've got beige, brown or black, blue, white, and yeah, I think there may have been a yellow or something like that. And then in the push button phones they changed them again, but I think they continued with a similar beige to this. A white one. There's only 3 colours, I think, maybe a musk, pinky coloured one. So there's a lot of different ones of these you can collect if you want to. They probably made a version of all of these too with a button on them, I think, for the PABX use. So for businesses and those sort of people, not normally in the home, just in PABXs. And don't know if they made a keyed version of these. The bench phones, they made one with a key lock on it. So you could turn the dial off and no one could dial a number and cost you any money. They were the main sort of extra features they had. These were all, of course, Decatic back then, dialing. Some of the push button ones came in tone. And I don't think there were many other variants of these things, basically. And then they just went to the Touchphone 200 after this lot. After the push button versions of these, I went to Touchphone 200. And they were all possible to mount on the wall. So you had the same handset, and you could just add a little clip in for the handset to hang on, and a bracket on the back, and it was a wall mountable, so there was no separate wall mounting version. But anyway, that's good to see that arrived alright. Good to get one in fairly mint condition. I don't have a lot of these earlier ones. I'm not sure I really want to collect every single colour. There's just too many variants and colours, and some of the colours I don't particularly like. So I think I'll just stick to, if I can get the occasional mint one rather than sort of sun-baked older ones. I was hoping you could do a better job with the retro brighting, but it doesn't work the best on a lot of these, especially when they're partly sunburnt. Often it got one side more than the other, or the side on the top, and the other side's fine, and under the handset's fine, so it's not the best thing to do. And given that people are often wanting quite a few dollars for a rubbish condition one that's been out in the sun for ages, they will have scratches all over them. The handset tends to scratch things, the whole surface where people's fingers and whatever, and handsets bumped it. So it's getting to the point where you might as well buy, if you really want one, better off to buy one in good condition, I think, that's new in the box. Or, you know, very hardly used. The box has been open, but it's barely been installed or anything. But when they've had 10, 15, 20 years of use in the home, they're certainly not in the best condition after that. But anyway, that's that one for now, so thanks for watching.